You are back with one of our most exciting shows on the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. We have had nothing but success tips from Jessica Fisher, owner and publisher of Top Agent Magazine, and now we have my mentor, #1 best-selling author, trainer. He literally hangs out with the best of the best trainers and mentors in the world, writes on it to help us out, changed my life without a doubt. Mr. Todd Duncan is with us today. And Todd, thank you so much for sharing time out of your day again and sharing with our listeners success tips that have definitely changed my life.
My pleasure. You know, Don, I was thinking about what we were talking about and what Todd said, and, you know, to be standing on that high wire without a net and have to make those small adjustments, it's got to take some sort of discipline. You know, you can't just go up there and hope it works. You know, you've got to have, you know, some training, some ideas, and you have to make sure to stick to it, right, Todd?
Well, you have to have all that, Gino. You're absolutely right. And the interesting thing, though, is that their confidence level is extremely high, and the reason why it's extremely high is because they do something that all successful people do, whether it's a high-wire act or you know, a real estate professional or a mortgage professional. The guys and gals that really make it in business and in life spend a lot of time rehearsing. They spend a lot of time practicing. They don't get good accidentally, and they kind of embrace this idea that, you know, if I get better, business will get better for me. So the Wallendas actually spend 95% of their high wire time on a rope 18 inches off the ground. And they do that time and time and time and time again. And if you can perfect an act at 18 inches off the ground, it doesn't matter if the rope is another 40 feet up because you're still looking at the same thing you're going to. You have the confidence that you gain by being at low altitude. And that's like, you know, scripting. I mean, any successful salesperson is going to spend more time practicing so that when they go live, they don't blow it, you know. And I have these series of Toddisms, as you guys know, and there's about 100
of them. I love the
Toddisms. Yeah, and one of them is, you know, if you don't practice more than you play, when you play, you'll look like you haven't practiced. And so all successful people, you know, when they catch themselves making those mistakes, whether it's a failed sales call or, you know, a business plan that's gone upside down, or they're feeling a little bit of reluctance, or they're lacking confidence, they check in with themselves and, you know, how am I doing in the laboratory? How am I doing practicing? And then obviously you take your practice to the show and you end up with a legacy, you know, because you're so good. And that's why the Wallendas are still walking the high wire 135 years later, because they're the best act in town.
Yeah, speaking of the best act in town, that was Todd Duncan, and you're listening to Pearls of Wisdom from Todd Duncan.